Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. I hope you're having a great day. We have some really good setups to talk about. I hope you were able to see the webinar from Monday where I covered 6 or 7 pairs that I think have some really good potential for the coming week. That is posted on Twitter. You can also find it on the website, daytradersfx.com. Okay, so I want to focus today on the pound dollar. I think we have a good setup on the pound dollar. We're going to talk about that, but just quickly, as far as news goes today, we just have one little straggler coming up on New Zealand, the CPI. This can definitely be a bit of a mover, and we are watching New Zealand pairs. If you saw the webinar from yesterday, you know that there's some New Zealand interest on New Zealand dollars, so that's one to keep an eye on. Coming into tonight and tomorrow, we do have the employment numbers for the UK. That's going to be a pretty big deal, and that will definitely affect some of what I'm about to talk about as far as these setups go. So remember, what I'm going to cover here will most likely be good for about the next 12 to even 24 hours with all the coming UK news and so on. So that's going to be a big deal. Okay, so let's look at this pound dollar and see what we have here. We've got an interesting little support level that is really holding quite well. This is a level I've talked about a couple of times. I've sent out some charts on this and talked about it over the last couple of weeks. And 159.00/159.10 is a really strong support area. We've kind of double bottomed there and then failed to get all the way back down to that low, and then we got back down here again all the way down to about 159.13, and it's really holding really well. So needless to say, thing number one is a break of 159.10, and I am shorting the heck out of the pound dollar. So I'm not even going to do this 159.00 or 158.90 or anything like that. 159.10 breaks, and I'm in short, and I'm going to take this pair hopefully down to some pretty nice levels here. One thing you can see on this daily chart is from the low back here of July all the way to the high of the very start of October, we have a pretty nice little run, and if we draw a fib level in there, you can see that our 23% fib is right around 159.18 or so. If we break below that, that puts us below that 23% fib, and I think we have a very excellent chance to make a run into that 38% fib, which is just about a 200 pip move. That takes us into about 157, just a hair above 15700, and I think we have a really good chance of that with the break of 159.10. Now, one thing that makes us a little cautious and curious that 159.10 might not be ready just yet is this big pin bar, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But the other thing that I'm looking at here is we've got a bit of a head and shoulders pattern going on here with the pound dollar. We've run up to the top of the trend line, the trend channel, and it's started to come down pretty nicely. It's run down fairly well from there, but then it's really found some serious support at this 159.00, 159.10 area. And again, this is going to be a very nice hammer at the bottom here. You can see there's a nice hammer right there, and here's another one right here that's going to potentially push the pound dollar back higher. So if it does go higher, what's our option there? Well, I like this weekly high right here. This has been a level I've been keeping an eye on. I've been looking, generally at about 160.20. You can see this high is about 160.17. We made that high and we went above or came just shy of the 200 moving average, and now the 200 moving average has dipped below that 160.17. So if we do break about, I'm just going to say 160.20, I would definitely consider an entry long up towards at least weekly resistance 1, which would be about 160.70. So we'd have anywhere from a 45 to 50 pip move depending on entries and so on. So I think that's a good opportunity there as well. So we have 2 breakout trades, a break of 159.10 or a break of 160.20. So there's basically 120 pip or 110 pip channel right here. However, here's the other option here. You can see that we've got a little bit of a kind of an interesting trend line right here, and so if the pound dollar stays below this trend line that it's been testing and working on, this little short-term channel right here, and it's a pretty good little channel, if we stay below that, then I think 160.20 becomes at that point a good level to short against. But again, with that daily pin bar, it's starting to make me think that we might have a little more upside pressure than not, and that's a pretty intense double bottom right there. So again, unless we get some sort of shooting star on like the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart, it doesn't look like we're going to get it on the daily chart. If we got like a spinning top on the daily chart, we have a couple hours left, so a spinning top there would definitely get me back into the short mode. But with that strong of a hammer that we have on the 4-hour or on the daily chart, makes me think that there's going to be a little more upside potential, which then in turn gives us a good opportunity to trade to buy the break of 160 17, with an entry just above 160.20, like 160.22 or right around there, targeting 160.70. But definitely watch for any reversal candles right there. There's going to be some good resistance right around that area, and if we get a nice, again, shooting star, you can see this very nice one we had right here before tanking and running down, but then it's retraced all the way back up. So I'm just watching that, and I think this is a really good channel to be doing some trading on. So let's watch the channel, let's trade the breaks, and let's be aware of any reversals that might happen at tops or bottoms, and we'll use reversal candles and price patterns to get us into those trades. Okay, guys, that's what I'm looking for. Best of luck. More updates will be coming on Twitter at DayTradersFX, and you can also check the website, daytradersfx.com. Thanks, everybody.